on what his opponent's going to do, or needs to go on a safe offensive on his own. I think he kind of has to start reading BigBlue a bit better. But reads are unreliable. You can't win grand finals on reads. You can't reset the bracket on reads. So he has to bring in a mix of his very strong defensive play without letting BigBlue take just control of the space, which kind of was his downfall last time. Because in neutral, they're actually really even. But here we go, guys. Grand finals.
Get hype on chat.
Get hype, people. So we got Seesalt in the red and BigBlue in the blue. And already I can tell you Seesalt is moving in way more aggressively. Just backing up BigBlue in a corner. Wow, this is actually like amazing to see. Just BigBlue getting demolished in the corner. Seesalt playing very safe, but not letting BigBlue take the space back. However, as I say that, BigBlue takes the space back by force even. And they're even now at 3 stocks apiece. BigBlue loses a stock there, but it's still pretty even. A single knockdown can cause, anyone to lose the remaining stocks. 2-2 now. BigBlue doing very high jumps. I'm not sure if I agree with that, but it pays out for him. Does a belly drop and takes it and gets the height advantage again and drops down with an elbow, taking round 1, goes for BigBlue.
Wow.
Yeah, this is intense. And BigBlue is in winner's bracket, so he only needs to win a single match. He only needs to win a single best of 5. If Seesalt wins, then we're resetting bracket and we're getting another set. But as it stands, Seesalt just needs to get a game in. He just needs to break BigBlue's streak. He's just been on a winning streak ever since this tournament started. And he's getting back into a corner. This is what I feared. BigBlue is really good at capitalizing the corner. And here comes, misses the Oki, but manages to come back from it with a drop kick. This is rough for Seesalt. He's just getting pressured, and he's down to his last stock. Seesalt is. BigBlue, though, taking a bit of a pause, going a bit back, analyzing what he has to do, and reacting on Oki. Seesalt was a bit late there on the elbow, and that allowed BigBlue to punish with a drop kick. And the first game goes to BigBlue. I'll say this, it's already looking way closer than the first time these two played earlier in bracket. That's for sure. Yes, I will do the losers and winners thing here on the name tags. And we're back onto the match. We have BigBlue taking a bit of an early lead. Not much though. Seesalt kind of like squares that away real fast. And they're kind of going back and forth. Nice double swipe by Seesalt. That was actually a really good delayed double swipe. And Seesalt just reading BigBlue's advances again with the he's getting really good reads on BigBlue. And that's kind of his key there. Wow, that double swipe. I thought it was too late, but apparently not. BigBlue down to his last 2 stocks and in the corner. It's looking bad for BigBlue. Seesalt, though, I mean, he's been in better positions than this, and he still lost the round. But no, not now. BigBlue down to his last stock. Seesalt has still 4 to spare, and we're at mid-screen, so there's no real ground advantage. Attacks whiff him back and forth. These players know exactly how to punish and when to throw out moves. Seesalt, though, down to his last two stocks, Big Blue playing really patiently, really sort of throwing out moves, capitalizing. Seesalt down to his last stock, and Big Blue might make the comeback. This is actually very stressful. Seesalt, though. Seesalt in the corner now.
Oh no.
They're both very, I could tell they're both very nervous. They're both respecting each other very much. And Seesalt takes it with that double swipe, takes the round. That was just a round there. The first round. So,
Oh my. Oh.
so this is, this grand finals is pretty intense. Yeah. Seesalt taking an early lead there and backing Big Blue into a corner. However, Big Blue manages to, jump high and sort of get out, pressuring with overhead attacks. I wouldn't call them overheads. They're not. There aren't really overheads in this game. They're all overheads in a sense. And just like that, Seesalt is being pressured into his own corner, and the stocks are, 5 apiece. Things are looking pretty rough for Seesalt now. Backed into a corner, getting pressured 3 stocks in a row by Big Blue, and now he's on his last stock. Seesalt is. Big Blue trying to close it out, trying to get it around for himself, but he just can't do it. And Seesalt does a really bad drop kick, and Big Blue punishes accordingly. Now, down to the last, I believe that's the first round Big Blue has lost this whole tournament. So that actually might have, rattled him a bit. He doesn't seem to be that rattled, though. He's just keeping on the pressure. Throwing out a bit more moves than I've seen him throw out, though. He's playing a bit too defensively, I'd say. And Seesalt just waiting patiently and just striking at the right times. Has a bit of an early lead, Seesalt does, but it's only 2 stocks. And this game can just, Big Blue, if he takes you in a corner, he can just take 4 stocks like that, like he did Seesalt last round. And Seesalt in a corner, this is bad, this is really bad. Manages to get Big Blue out of his face with a drop kick, but gets hit back. He's in the corner still. Big Blue, 4 stocks, Seesalt 5. This is looking really tense. Seesalt gets backed into a corner, 4 stocks now. Big Blue had the height advantage, but hit him a bit too late. That took Seesalt out of the corner, and Big Blue in it. Big Blue has 3 stocks, Seesalt has 2. If Seesalt manages to hit him and back into the corner, oh no. Seesalt does a couple of unsafe moves, and Big Blue just doesn't relent. He just punished both of those and closes game 2. And now, what is possibly the last game of this tournament, Big Blue 2-0 for Seesalt.
Oh wow!
This, I mean,
I'm sweating.
It's really rough. Like, Seesalt can take it. He's shown that he can, overtake Big Blue's offense, but he just hasn't been able to do it consistently enough. And we're down to possibly the last match of the tournament. The last game, even. So, well, let's see. Let's see how it plays out. They're even stocks mid-screen, so not a big advantage for either. We have Big Blue still doing these really high jumps that usually are very, they're pretty unsafe, but they've been working really good because Seesalt is a bit too patient, and he's not taking the space when Big Blue goes high. Seesalt backed into a corner, 2 stocks left, Big Blue has 4. Manages to get him off with, get off of him with a fucking double swipe. So now they're 2 stocks a piece mid-screen. Oh, that was really bad. a good belly drop by Big Blue takes Seesalt to his last stock, and then a double swipe will close it out.
Ooh.
Big Blue looking pretty dominant here, and Seesalt in his last leg. Can he pull an upset here? Can he pull a win? I mean, I definitely think he can. He has shown that he has the patience and the understanding of the game to do so. But Big Blue just throwing a lot of moves out. It's really hard to get through this kind of matrix that Big Blue he's got really good patterns, you know. He just throws moves out in a pretty, you know, unpredictable way, but in a way that just forces you to go back. Seesalt, though, managing to manage the Big Blue's offense and taking full advantage of that corner, getting 4 stocks in a row. Seesalt might just do it, guys.
Woo!
I mean, he took around there, though. He still needs to take a game that hasn't happened yet for him. It's entirely possible, though, and we see how Seesalt managed to take that corner there. If he does that again, I mean, he definitely has a chance. Big Blue kind of down by 3 stocks here in this third round, in this third game. Seesalt, really good double swipe. He's been doing these really late double swipes on the offensive jump that have been working out fantastically for him. They're punishing a belly flop and just waiting to the last second to... Wow, that was an incredible elbow. He just pulls it out in neutral and just punishes a forward jump. Since elbow drop comes out really fast, so it's actually a pretty good offensive tool in close quarters if the opponent thinks you're gonna back down. And Seesalt just takes the game. Big Blue, his winning streak is over. He's lost the game. Now it's up to Seesalt to take 2 more games, and we have a grand finals match here, people. Yo, this is getting pretty tight, and like Seesalt managed to kind of like flip the script there, taking. We might see a reverse 3-0 here, if.
Oh wow!
I mean, if things pan out right for Seesalt. I'd be incredibly surprised if we saw a reset here. The Seesalt, Seesalt did manage to claw back these past 2 games. Apparently, there's something wrong on the player's side.
No, it's okay. Seesalt just took a little break to drink some water.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty tense, man. I mean, this is what Bearsus is about, right? There's just...
It's fierce. It's fierce.
It's fierce. It's just limited options, but you know those options really count, and we see Seesalt really take advantage of those in this last game. Just taking Big Blue to town the last round, really just dominant showing. Yeah. And here we go, game 4 of grand finals.
Oh wow!
Big Blue with the first blood, but Seesalt brings it back. So it's only 1 stock apiece. Seesalt with the delayed swipe, really good, working out for him. Not there though. Big Blue adapted, used a drop kick, and punished the late claw. That was a bad drop kick from Seesalt, but he manages to come back with a quick elbow to the face. The drop kick working out good for him, but that delayed swipe there actually working against him, as it allowed Big Blue to escape from a Nokizeme position. Patience from both of these players. They're just staring down each other. 5 stocks apiece. Seesalt a bit back down in the corner, but manages to take 2 stocks and the mid screen. It's looking pretty good for Seesalt, but Big Blue, I mean, can't count him out. He's been doing great this whole tournament, and with the double swipe, takes Seesalt to the corner. But Seesalt just manages to escape the corner seemingly every time. BigBlue countering that double swipe with a drop kick. And just this back and forth, this is just a really tense first round. And 2 stocks apiece, Seesalt in the corner. He's down, but that was almost genius. Seesalt delayed his recovery and made BigBlue whiff, but it just wasn't enough. BigBlue reacted and just got the Okaseme anyway. Round 2. If BigBlue wins this round, he takes the tournament. But Seesalt with an early lead, getting 4 stocks, 5 stocks, and BigBlue's in a corner. I mean, he might 6 stocks. BigBlue's 4 stocks to death, and Seesalt has only lost 1. BigBlue has 3 stocks, 2 stocks in the corner, pressured. Last stock of the round for BigBlue. Seesalt pressuring him really well and punishing that double swipe with a drop kick. Amazing showing from Seesalt. I mean,
nice.
I mean, the Seesalt just pulling through, just coming from the brink of death and punishing BigBlue's approaches. And I'm just mesmerized by the movement of these players. Just, we've seen the past 10, 15 seconds and there hasn't been a hit. And BigBlue breaks the silence with the double swipe. Now Seesalt kind of at an impasse, I think. He was a bit, I think, impressed by himself from the last game. But he just delays his recovery there. Really smart move. But he's down by 3 stocks there. BigBlue pressuring him, but Seesalt taking advantage of sort of BigBlue's antsiness a bit, and now they're 4 stocks apiece mid-screen. Seesalt might do it. He might bring this to a game 5 and takes another stock. BigBlue with 3 stocks remaining in the corner, 2 stocks, 1 stock, and he does it! And he brings it to a game 5! Holy crap!
Oh, we're going for the reset, are we?
We might just see a reset here. And here's the thing. Seesalt hadn't taken a single round from BigBlue until this grand finals. BigBlue had taken 2 games from Seesalt in this grand finals. Seesalt might just pull the reverse 3-0. I don't want to get ahead of myself though, but he takes first blood. And we see BigBlue, he's hesitating. He's doing bad double swipes. And Seesalt is just going on top of him. Taking 2 stocks for 1. 3 stocks now. He could have taken another one there, but he's playing a bit cautious. Of course, BigBlue, can't count him out yet. He just amazing player all around. And getting hit by that delayed double swipe, kind of like Seesalt's specialty we've seen throughout the tournament. 6 stocks apiece here. Seesalt a bit backed into a corner, not too much, and that drop kick might not have been the best decision from Seesalt. Got himself backed into a corner, but manages to reverse the situation. Gets hit back into the corner. Not exactly the corner he's pressured, but not that much. 3 stocks apiece, two stocks for Seesalt. BigBlue throwing moves. He gets punished. And he's now BigBlue, only 1 stock left. Seesalt, 2 stocks. And he takes the first round of this game 5. I mean, if Seesalt takes this round, we're going to see a reset, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wow.
Seesalt again taking the first blood. He's got a good rhythm going. He's got a good momentum on his hands. And we see how Seesalt backs BigBlue to a corner. It gets the double swipe. BigBlue doing double swipe of his own to sort of get him out of his face. But he just can't escape the corner. Seesalt with the double swipes. Just relentless. Oh my god. I mean, Big Blue, 3 stocks until a reset. Manages to get out of the corner pretty well though. It gets hit by that late double swipe from Seesalt. 2 stocks for Big Blue, 4 stocks for Seesalt, and a round on his shoulder. Big Blue on his last stock in this winner's side. Seesalt might just get the reset. It's only 1 hit. There's only 1 mistake Big Blue can make here. Seesalt, 2 stocks to death. Big Blue, 1 to reset. And Seesalt takes it! He resets the bracket! And we move on to the last set of the tournament. Oh my god. Seesalt just
we got a reset.
Not only a reset, it was a reverse 3-0. This was amazing. Seesalt just pulling through, just really sort of reaching deep down and pulling just what can only be described as an amazing comeback. The absolute mad lad. Jesus.
Oh man.
This
mad lad indeed.
I mean, Big Blue, he's been so dominant this whole tournament, right? He didn't drop a game, not a single round until this last game, until this last match. And we're gonna see here how Seesalt reset the bracket, not only resets the bracket, but has some pretty good dominant showings here. Seesalt just really going to town, kind of downloading Big Blue a bit. It's still pretty even though, and we're gonna start the last set of this tournament. This has been an amazing tournament. Thanks everyone for coming and just appreciating this nice little game we call Bearsus. And just like that, we're gonna get into the last match of the tournament. We're gonna see how if Big Blue can sort of bring it back. I mean, Seesalt has sort of taking the momentum of this whole tournament now. Big Blue just had amazing showings of dominance all throughout, and when it came to just closing it out, he couldn't do it. He just couldn't do it. And now he's backed into a corner. Seesalt, I'm not sure if it's choking, man, because he hasn't been making that many mistakes. Seesalt has just been reading him really, really well. And now Big Blue backed into a corner, 3 stocks left. Seesalt has 6. He might just do it. Seesalt might just do it. And takes the first round of the reset. I mean, I'm speechless. I'm not, because I'm commentating, but I'm speechless. This is really just a great showing of what top-level play in this game can look like. Big Blue is getting a bit sloppy, I can give you that. I mean, he's kind of just been not exactly having a clear game plan after Seesalt kind of rocked his world back in the first set of this grand finals. Even though, as I say that, I mean, he's kind of bringing it back. In this round. He's up 3 stocks. He seemed to have the corner there, but Seesalt brought it back to mid-screen. Big Blue, though, very much a different player from what we've seen this whole tournament. He's playing more defensively now. He's more... he's got a bit more patience on his shoulders. But you can see that he's not entirely comfortable in that patience. Seesalt is naturally the more defensive player, I'd say. And it doesn't really come that naturally to Big Blue. But he's managing to pull it off pretty well here. Sort of mixes the game up a bit. Seesalt, a bit of a pause in the game. Seesalt down to 2 stocks versus 5. Seesalt down to his last stock in this round. Manages to get a stock back with that double swipe. Big Blue down to 4, but takes it with a late double swipe, using Seesalt's own tools against him. I mean, you can see how this is just working out pretty good for both players. They're both adapting. They're both just you can't count any of them out. Seesalt had the momentum resetting the bracket, but you can see how it really doesn't matter because Big Blue it has such good understanding of the game. However, Big Blue here backed into a corner. No level of understanding can really counter the power of double swipe on corner. So, you know, he's just gonna have to pull his way through, muscle his way out of the corner, manages to take that mid screen or a bit more space with double swipes, and just brings it back a bit. I mean, Big Blue might even take this round. Seesalt had a pretty good showing earlier this round, but Big Blue just seems to be coming back, and now Seesalt in the corner. Big Blue has a really good chance here. Seesalt last stock and loses the first game of this reset. I mean, like I said, you can't count Big Blue out. He's a great player, and he's just showing us why he, came to this grand finals from the winner's side. Seesaw really having a dominant first round there in this reset, had the momentum with him, but Big Blue, after a bit of a pause, kind of like stops him in his tracks. I mean, it really is impressive to see how Big Blue's game plan has changed now. And Seesalt kind of struggling for answers, I think. After this, Big Blue brought the last round back. He was down by 3 stocks and in a corner, and he brought it back. And we can see how Seesalt, he's approaching the same way he's been doing it, and it's been working now. Big Blue in a corner, but the momentum just doesn't seem to be behind him now, behind Seesalt. Big Blue is unfazed by this level of just a clutch that Seesalt has shown. Big Blue backed into a corner a bit, not that much though. Seesalt up 2 stocks. It's not a big lead. 1 stock now, and Big Blue just poised to take it, but no. Seesalt just, he's making Big Blue respect his pace so much that he can sort of catch Big Blue out by doing the occasional offensive move in his defensive sort of pattern, right? But Big Blue is just really good at reacting to stuff, and we see how there Seesalt did a high double swipe, and that sort of cost him a stock. Seesalt 2 stocks, Big Blue 1 stock, and now they're both a stock apiece in a pretty neutral position. There's no corner here to play, and you can see how double swipes are all around. That high double swipe might have cost him the match, Seesalt, but Big Blue takes it with a high double swipe. And he takes around. Big Blue takes around. Seesalt's gonna have to sort of reassess his position here. Momentum's quickly fading into Big Blue's corner. And here Big Blue with an early, just small lead in this second round of the second game in this glorious grand finals of Quarantine Rapport Bearsus edition. We see how Big Blue is just he's managing to get his footing back. He's getting a bit of that Big Blue signature offensive weaving in and out. See, like you saw just there, just jumps forward, jumps back, and does the drop kick. I mean, he fades really well and still has a bit of an advantage this round, but Seesalt manages to take it back. 2 stocks in a row, 3 stocks in a row, 4 stocks in a row, and you can see how Seesalt just brings it back. He's got 3 stocks. Big Blue has 1. Big Blue's near the corner, but it's not at play yet. You can see Big Blue taking a stock with the drop kick. Oh, God. You can see how Seesalt is just hesitant now. He's got 2 stocks left. He can make 1 mistake, but 1 is just the only thing he can make. Big Blue loses the round though. Seesalt bringing it back. I mean, this is just too much. I don't have the commenting expertise to really make this as hype as I'm feeling right now. But I can tell you, this is just
That's fine.
amazing to see. It really is just how such a simple game can have such, ins and outs and just complexities. And you can see how the players, just playstyles, have been developed throughout the tournament and here throughout the set. You have 3 stocks apiece for BigBlue and Seesalt. I mean, 7 stocks apiece. They've taken 3 each. And now BigBlue taking a bit of a lead, but Seesalt takes it back. BigBlue using the double swipes really good in his advantage. They're reading the situation wrong, doing a double swipe a bit too late and getting punished with an elbow for it. Seesalt teching forward, that's very uncommon of him. And especially now that he's down a couple stocks. BigBlue 4 stocks, Seesalt 2, and if BigBlue takes this, Seesalt has 1 stock left. If BigBlue takes it, it's only a game and he takes the tournament. This is last round of game 2. Grand finals. Bracket reset. BigBlue 3 stocks, Seesalt taking it back. Taking it back a little bit by little bit, but he can't make a mistake. That drop kick was almost his demise, and now he takes his stock with that drop kick. That late claw there could have taken it. That elbow somehow didn't hit, and now they're 1 stock apiece. This can go to anyone, ladies and gentlemen. Seesalt really patient, just standing there menacingly, but it doesn't work, and a whiffed drop kick gives BigBlue the game. That's 2-0 on BigBlue's side. And Seesalt here still has enough momentum, still has enough has enough air, I think, in him to bring this back. But we're again in a situation like we were in the first set of grand finals where Seesalt's down 2 games, and it's hard to come back in a game like Bearsus. I mean, it requires a lot of just playing very just cautiously and safely, but BigBlue knows how to punch that safeness. So I would say BigBlue is actually kind of like the perfect foil for Seesalt, because he knows how to punish these defensive options really well, and that's sort of forced Seesalt to come out of his defensive shell and put out some, more aggressive hitboxes. Here, BigBlue taking a bit of an advantage, bit of a lead, not that much, takes 2 hits with a quick tech. BigBlue losing 5 stocks in a row. Seesalt just coming alive here in the 3rd game of Grand Finals reset. I can't. BigBlue on his last stock. Seesalt got 4 stocks left and takes the round. I mean, Seesalt just coming alive there. We can see how the double stock sort of shook BigBlue and just made him commit defensive errors there that cost him 5 stocks in a row mid-screen too, which is something you don't see very often. BigBlue taking the height advantage twice, giving him elbow stocks. However, we're back to neutral. We're back to reset. BigBlue doing higher jumps, and Seesalt recognizes that. Jumping back, however, he's been caught out a couple times, so he's down a stock. BigBlue sort of jumping on his opponent's head, baiting out possibly a drop kick, and then jumping back, but it's not working so much. He is, however, getting the height advantage, and he's getting the better of Seesalt. Seesalt in the corner with 2 stocks left. BigBlue 5, Seesalt 1, and in the corner, this is a really bad position for Seesalt. A single attack from BigBlue can kill him, and in the corner, your options are severely limited. Gets BigBlue off his face with a drop kick. However, BigBlue is not shook. He gets the height advantage again and gets the elbow drop, and this is possibly the last stock, the last round of the whole tournament. BigBlue getting the first blood, but that's quickly retaliated by Seesalt. We can see how BigBlue is sort of mixing it up, doing short hops there, doing a low ground attack. He was doing height maneuvers this last round, but you can see how Seesalt is backed into a corner. BigBlue moving in on him. Seesalt got 5 stocks, 4 stocks now, 3 stocks, 2 stocks, and he's down 1 stock, and he takes the tournament. BigBlue takes the tournament, and that's the end of it. Seesalt just losing 3-0. It was too much of a comeback to make, but GG's for all of these players. Amazing showing from both of these players. Seesalt, an amazing comeback from first set of grand finals. BigBlue adapting, just not getting phased by the comeback and then retaliating. This was an amazing tournament. I'm so glad I got to commentate this. And thanks to everyone. Thanks to Rod here by my side. Thanks to the chat. Thanks to the Bearsus community. Thanks to Quarantine Rapport for organizing this beautiful tournament. And thanks for Direct Relief for helping with coronavirus and helping us all sort of get out of this moment of crisis and enjoying fighting games. That was an amazing grand final. What do you think, Rod?
It was. I'm tired. I
mean, me too, man. That was just amazing shit. The way BigBlue really just managed to adapt and answer Seesalt's just amazing comeback. I mean, I knew you couldn't count BigBlue like down. He's super dominant the whole tournament. But at a moment there, Seesalt just looked poised to take it because momentum was just so heavily in his favor, right? But that's the thing with Bearsus. Every new game is just the neutral is such a solid sort of entity in Bearsus, and it's such a unfazed. I wouldn't say it's unfazed by momentum, but with the right mindset, you can sort of see how a player can take it back, can take the momentum back forcibly. And you can see, and you saw that with BigBlue in the first game of, well, actually, I'd say the momentum really changed in the second game of the Grand Finals reset, where BigBlue had a really decisive victory. However, there always was that element. Seesalt was never down and out. He was always got around in 2 of those last 3 games, I believe. And the rounds that he got pretty, decisively. So part of me thinks that, BigBlue just managed to adapt faster than Seesalt in this occasion. But I couldn't tell if one of the other player was just I wouldn't say that either of them was overtly more skilled than the other. I will say, however, congratulations to BigBlue for taking this tournament and for taking the first place pot, right? What isn't there? Don't we have like a $50 just prize pool in general?
Yeah.
Right?
So there's a prize pool that actually the guys from QR have reached out, and they'll be sending the prizes.
Right. Well, so congratulations to our podium. That's Seesalt that's BigBlue in first place, Seesalt in second place, and Luke in third place. All 3 excellent work. We just saw some amazing matches. Thank you all so much for coming. And there's going to be more Bearsus in the future. You can join our Discord if you're just tuning in and you just saw this amazing game. All the community's on Discord. Patches are going to come out, and it's a game in alpha, man. There's a lot that's going to change. There's a lot that's going to be built on this. But I think we have a really, really solid game here, folks. And with that, I'm just going to say that it's a bit late for Rod back in Uruguay. And I was going to ask you if you wanted to say anything before you took your leave and just close out the stream.
Just besides, thanking everybody, thanking the players, thanking, BigBlue and Seesalt, congratulating them for the great performance they had. BigBlue, congratulations for winning the tournament. Seesalt, you did an awesome job, and then too bad it didn't take, but still awesome show. Same with Luke, the 3 top players. Everybody did an awesome job. Thanks again to Seesalt for making the guide.
Yeah, the Parsec guide. Without that, we would have been dead.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole community from QR that helped us set this whole thing up. The guy, Best Boy, I believe, is like the lead from QR. Thanks a lot to him and all his crew. And the FGC indie game community that has been really supportive to Bearsus and all other games that are being worked on. So yeah, it's kind of late for me too. So even though I wasn't casting, it has been quite taxing for my head too. So
yeah.
Thanks a lot. Let's keep it going on Discord. Join the Discord. I just put on the link over there. So if anybody else
in chat, if anyone wants to join, yes. And
thanks again.
Yeah, well, thanks, Rod, for coming, for just making this amazing game, and take a rest, man. And we'll be talking, and we'll be talking to the Bearsus community as well. As for me, I'll just read out some information about the tournament, some just closing stuff, and then I'll just take my leave as well. So, as you all know, this is a charity tournament, and if you can, I'd encourage you to donate to. I believe there's links in the. So the organization is called Direct Relief. I'm trying to open up the information. The information document, which will sort of tells me everything I need to know and say and inform you guys about. Because I mean, this is we had a lot of fun, and we've done a lot of good, and I think we have to really sort of congratulate the Quarterly Rapport people for just organizing such an amazing tournament, and just for such a good cause. COVID's been hitting all of us pretty hard, and I think if you have a buck to spare, if you don't worry about it, but if you do, I mean, there's a lot of people who've been hit really, really, really hard, and I think it would be very appreciated if you could donate. If you can't, don't worry about it, don't stress about it, maybe just signal boost it. Anything helps. And if you donate, you actually enter a giveaway for either, if you donate $3 or more, you get a random chance to win any one of the sponsored games. And there's a list for that. You can see it in this document that I'll link. And, and if you donate more than $5, you enter a chance to get a Hitbox or Smashbox controller. So, if you're feeling lucky, maybe just do it for that. If you're not feeling generous, but you're feeling lucky. But anyway, it's pretty late for me here too. I'm pretty tired. This was my first time commentating just a full tournament by myself. I mean, Rod did help with all the technical stuff, but I was more on the game part, and I mean, I hope I was entertaining, and I hope you guys enjoyed it today.
You sure were.
Thanks, and I hope we get more tournaments like this in the future. And I'll be seeing you guys on Discord, all the Bearsus community. Okay, I think that's it. Again, I thank everyone for coming, and yeah, great games, as a bear would say. That was so bad, and that's like the worst way to end the stream. So I'm gonna end it here.